A very good Sunday afternoon, my people. Outside again is a very gorgeous day. So after we finish our teaching, we shall all go out and take a long walk. So let's start with our part one. Our part one is a breathing exercise. It's based on Taoist principles that breathing in as deep as we can, breathe out as deep as we can is good for detox, and also is good for mind calming and good for open up your fascia system. That's your triple burner, pericardium, and waken up all the organ systems as well. So your legs bend naturally as if you feel yourself deeply into earth as a beautiful tree. Your hands up naturally. We'll do 10 times together. Now we'll start with our part two, 10 energy movements. 10 energy movements is one of the best fascia movements. That's the structure, and not just your connective tissues. What is the structures? Think about these are the canals of the system. These are the windows of doors. So if we keep our fascia healthy, we keep all those stagnation and inflammation away. The first movement is slowly open up the triple burner. That's your Sanjiao system. And also this movement is really good for your shoulder, your neck, your lymph, and your liver system, your liver and your gallbladder. You are balancing your liver system and your lungs. A lot of people are very sick with the flu, and this is really good flu preventative movements, because you also can help to break the phlegms in your lungs. Next movement is to balance the whole gut system. A lot of people lately have COVID gut, a lot of constipation or diarrhea or bloating, and these movements will help. These movements will help you to balance your 7 basic emotions, help with spine health, and your neck health. If your neck is healthy, then you have much better. Yeah. But for balancing the heart system, your intestines, lower back pain, or pain in the gut system. Now we're stretching. We're stretching out the whole fascia, the tendon system as well. Movement is strengthening your kidney system. And your liver system. You have depression, anxiety, a lot of anger. Do these movements. It's good for your liver health. the whole spine, kidneys, and the whole body lymph. If you have gallbladder, bladder, kidney stones, do this movement. So the next two, again, stretch out the whole fascia, the whole structure. And then the last movement, again, the whole fascia. Kalabasi. Thank you. And then we know we will always drink some water together. Today, I really enjoy Meyer lemons, and it's in season in California. So springtime is that I put 10 to 15% of saffron in my water. But saffron is not for everyone. Saffron is mostly used for people who have blood stagnation. When people have COVID blood, that we use saffron. But if you have heavy menstrual cycle, you want to get pregnant, you are currently pregnant, or nursing, saffron is not the correct herbs for you. We can give you other herbs that will do the trick. But saffron is mostly used for people who with women is that they have done menstrual cycle, they no longer have a menstrual cycle, they want to have healthy looking skin, and for women and for men is that you can, it's saffron is mostly used for men because that is for men is a regular blood cleanser. But again, there are other blood cleansers out there that we can use. So saffron, again, saffron is a good herb. It's one of the 5 herbs that we, instead of using it to create a compound, they are strong enough to be used as a single herb. My question to you is that why do you think So why do you think saffron is good, especially in springtime? As you can see, this is my beautiful saffron. So because springtime is the liver system is your manager. And why saffron is good for to help people to have beautiful skin. So that is a question that I will answer when we begin to talk about the facial I am developing. But today, I would like to kind of use springtime. Springtime is a time of the liver system. So the liver system is your manager. So the manager that also the liver system in human system, we see liver as we say, liver can serve as a general, right? And springtime also is a good time to do strategic planning. So that is also if you have very strong and clear liver system, then you can easily figure out a plan. If people like to plan, they know, they have strong liver system, right? So what is the strategic plan for us, for our clinic that currently and moving forward? So what are we focusing on? So I think that, I've been reading a lot of, is that true that we are entering a period of time, we will see a lot of disruptions, we will see wars, we will see famine, we will see pandemics one after another. Is that prediction has come true? And if so, what is it that we will do to help us navigate through this period of time? Supposedly started 2008, and supposedly this energy, this destructive energy, will dissipate throughout these years, but we will see a very positive turn in 2044. So if, any of my teachings, just hear it as a story. If you feel, that is just nonsense, don't listen. If you say, well, probably there's a little bit of truth in it, then what do we do, right? Then we say any kind of like this, we bring out our army. So who's our army? It's our immune system. So the past 3 or 4 years, more and more people realize that for us to keep ourselves well, there's no magic drug. It's about how your immune system will help you to navigate through. So how do we then balance our immune system? Then we go back to basics. We say, right, if we have lower toxins, have low toxins, low stagnation, low inflammation, if we have a well-balanced gut system, then our immune system will be there for us. So the whole question is how? What can we do, right, to create such a balanced immune system? So again, that will need to have some design, right? So in my mind is that self-care, the way of life has always been, and it will always be the most important thing. By the time you should sleep, you need to go to bed and sleep. So we have previously talked about why it's important for people to stop doing what they're doing around 8:30, just to have the half hour to calm themselves. By 9, really should meditate, right? Because your triple burner, your sanjiao, your fascia system, from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. is the most active. Then you really should do a foot soak, gentle massage, do a little bit of movements, the movements that will promote the mind calming, will promote the body calmness, and then go to bed, right? Why it's important to sleep through between 10 or 10:30 until 5 and 6. So we talk about the sleep hygiene, why it's very important. We also talk about, right, what kind of diet we should do. Why, if you are relatively healthy, we give you a seasonal diet. If you're balanced, if you're out of balance with your hormones, we give you a hormone diet. If you're out of balance with your gut, we give you a gut health diet. So there are dietary guidelines we give that you can follow, right? Why it's important to do the basic fascia movements? Because if you keep your fascia well, you keep your gut well, then you will be able to sleep well, poop well, eat well. Then you do not need us. You just need yourself and your body, and you are a part of nature. You're all set. You're not all set because we have lost the way how to do those things properly. That's where we come in. We say, why don't we do these movements? Why don't we do this? That will help to balance our system. So again, the most important thing is a healthy living, right? It's a clean, follow the rhythm, be a part of nature. It's a way of life. And but we know we got hit left and right nowadays. So then if we need some treatments, so I have redesigned the second round of the treatment, right? To navigate through more of how to help people cleanse their blood. What if people have chronic infections we call COVID brain? Now we see a lot of, especially kids, have COVID gut. They have pain, they have vomiting, they have all kinds of things. So what can we do to help with it, right? So, and then I'm just done designing the next chapter of herbs. So if the past pandemic is about win or lose on inflammation, the next one is going to be dampness. If we can help people reduce dampness before the next thing hit, we will be ahead. We were a little bit ahead the last one. I'm hoping we can navigate through the upcoming one as well. So the herbs we design is that we help people to really, the formula is how to reduce dampness. What can we do through treatment? What can you do through diet? What can we do through, herbs? What can you do? So then we will do it together as we did last time. So I've done the formula that to reduce dampness, and also the formula that to promote brain health is I am still in the process, because brain health, there are two things that we have to contemplate. A lot of people have shown early sign of dementia. So why is that? And a lot of people have chronic infections and inflammation, mid-ear infections, eye infections. They feel their brain is always on fire, it's pounding, they have throat pain, they have all this. So that two formulas has to be separated. So I am mostly done both. And then the other thing is that I have complete a mushroom formula. I call that mushroom defender, or I'm not sure, maybe mushroom transform, I don't know yet. But what this will do is that I mentioned last in my teaching, I am more and more intrigued of the idea of why is that 25% people after they die, we discover they have cancer that, during some kind of period of their life, and they didn't know, the doctor didn't know, and they live a until their old age, quite relatively healthy. So what does that mean? How can we prevent us from getting there? And or if we're leaning toward that way, our body can take care of it for us. So what are some useful tools we can use to do that? So I think this mushroom formula will help people to really focus on cancer prevention. And so I am excited about this formula. Once we have this, and we will let you know. And we will start drinking that as we are all drinking the wellness broth, because that's the best formula to really reduce stagnation and then balance immune. So now we're just bringing out something more powerful. So by doing that, part of reducing dampness is moxa, is using moxa. It's an herbal steaming, right? We put a herbal box on you. We open up certain radiant lines and put a box on you, and then there's burning herbs in there. We cover you up and we cook you a little bit. So in the process of doing that, Waters decides to say, well, okay, so since I'm doing this one, I may just very well design a chapter of wellness, right? A lot of people want me to do something with facial, something with belly fat, something with their cellulites. So this chapter is mostly done. So I want to share a little bit about the facial treatment that I designed and what is the reason and logic behind that. So if we look at our face, right, what are the basic things we know? We know that if you want to have a so-called wrinkle-free, healthy-looking face, that is a representation of your blood and your energy, because there are 11 meridian lines going through your face. So these 11 meridian lines that they go through your face, right? They bring blood and energy and into your head, going through your face. And then there are also 11 lines going from your back, right, going up. They actually meet up in your brain, meet here. So that's why we say now, sweetheart, this is the flower of the whole body, right, your head. So that a flower is and your head, according to us, is very young energy related. It's all this young energy is here. So the young energy will radiate through. Think about young energy, think about the sun, right? The sun is very powerful, right? That when you go out and if it's very sunny and you do this naturally, right? The face naturally is half yin and half yang, because if it's too much yin, you're going to interfere with the energy going up to your brain. If it's too much yang, you are going to, again, steal the energy supposed to go up in your brain. So there are 11 meridian lines from different angles, trying to cover the face from different angles to go up there. So if you have those meridian lines closed or stagnant, it doesn't really matter what product you use, you will have wrinkles. Because if you have too much yang, it's going to burn your skin. If you have too much yin, you're going to have black spots. So the yin and yang has to be really imbalanced. So if you look at human face, you will see why do we, the first rule of traditional Chinese medicine is to do observation, to look at you, look at your face. Your face tells me a lot, right? So one of the main line, right, is your Ren meridian line going through right through here, going up to your face. So the Ren meridian line carry out the qi, the energy. And who helps that? The Chun meridian line that goes through in male, prostate in woman, ovaries, right, goes up. So that carries the nutrients. If you have no nutrients, it doesn't really matter what we do, it won't work. So, and then you also have other meridian lines going through your face. You have your stomach meridian lines, that is your gut line, right? That going through your face, that carry with the energy as well. So if you have a incorrect diet or your diet is really awful, then you will have your face won't look good. It doesn't really matter. And you have to do what you have to do is only do in the artificial way, right? To try to have fake looking skin. That's, I think, most of the people that when they only do the external facial or when they only put so much stuff on their face, it doesn't really radiate health from inside out. It's just a whole bunch of product. And it's an easy fix, but it won't last. So our facial, the facial wear design is let's have both, right? Let's have the internal way I'm trying to explain, right? And you also have gallbladder line that again carry the detox line going up, and you have the extraordinary lines and ordinary lines. It's all meet up here. So when we help to do the facial, why the first step has to be massage, meridian line massage, the head and the face, because you have to detox, you have to open up these lines. So then you have to give people, right, diet, but that won't be done by the technician who does your facial, will be done by the different practitioners and give you a process of saying, hey, look, you know, you have a wrinkled face because you have a not good looking skin, you have a butterfly face, you have rosacea, so-called, you have this because of which line is blocked, which organ system need to be balanced. So when we balance that at the same time, and we will give you this facial, the facial will be, you know, we'll have to massage, and then we will also need to work on your eyebrows. So why is it important to work on the eyebrows? Well, you know, well, some people say, oh, well, you know, like they do the eyebrows, blah, 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 blah. So when you have hair, this kind of excessive hair, your eyebrows, and the body hair, is because those are the most gathering place for your blood and energy. So, a story, I don't know. Oh, well, you know, I like to tell stories. That Zhang Zhongjin is the one who wrote Shanghan Le, that in Han Dynasty, that 2000 some years back. So he was being viewed as a wizard in a way. So he had this friend, and he looked at this friend, and he said, well, you should be doing this and this and this and this. If you don't do this, this, and this, in 20 years, your eyebrows will fall. After half years, your eyebrows fall, you will die. So his friend said, what, 20 years? Are you kidding me? No, I'm not going to do whatever you want me to do. It is 20 years. But what happened is 20 years, his friend dropped off eyebrows, lose eyebrows, half a year, died. So the question is, what did he see that he could see it 20 years ahead of time? So back then, one of the very troubling disease was leprosy. So when people have that, they have to be isolated. Right? But traditional Chinese medicine back then, 2,000 years back, has really, I think, was very advanced of treating. so that they can see that far, because you begin to carry the very first sign of things, that if you know where to look, is the eyebrows is where to look. So he wasn't, after all, maybe he was a wizard, who knows, but he knows how to diagnose leprosy. So, but anyways, so then we're going to massage or teach you how to massage your eyebrows, because this is where the blood and energy really gathers, right? And then that will help with, if people feel they have black circle under their skin, or that will help this region. Help with the eyes. If you say, wow, this person has beautiful eyes, what that means, or this person, it does not have beautiful eyes. That means that that is a representation of your energy, of your blood, right? So then there's not much in there to shine out. So, and then the third step is your cheekbones and your face. So because again, you have your large intestine, small intestines, your gut system, you have your hormone system, you have all this going through this part of your face. So if people says, you know what, you have rosacea. So that not only that a hormone related imbalance, but also that's a small intestines related imbalance. People who have rosacea likely to have hormone related weight gain, because they have imbalance in their small intestines. Small intestines is where you balance out what is useful, what is useless. Right. So by doing that, then this is our facial, and then we'll give you actual facial, and then we'll use, you know, the cleanser, and that's another story. Why use the cleanser we have at the clinic? What is it? Why we want to use honey? Why we want to use herbs? We want to use these herbs to have to get up, to open up these meridian lines, right? And we want to use honey to protect your deeper tissues, because this herb has a burning sensation. So that's been said, is that why only use twice a week? One, whom are the best people to use it? So, and then after we figured out all this, then we say, well, let's give you a facial. Let's see if we can do, you know, step by step to massage you, to teach you how to do massage, to use certain products to burn out the outer skin, and then what we can do, what you can do. So these are only the first step, the reason behind the facial treatment. And the belly fat, that's another story. Cellulite, that's another story. Why we can help, because we know what is behind that, and we'll need to treat inside out, outside in. We meet in the middle. So that's been said. I hope that I've done enough talking, and I will leave a little time for you to ask questions. But as you can see, I am excited about my Maxa piece to help people to get rid of the belly fat. I am excited about the facial to help people to really understand their health, not just have a okay looking skin. So, you know, do ask questions.
Dr. Liu, I'm going to jump in really quickly before I'm sure I will be flooded with questions. I imagine this is like a really long tradition, of course, as is traditional Chinese medicine, but could you talk a little bit about sort of the lineage of how this has always really just been a part of one's health and not something extra?
So this is throughout history. People, for a variety of reasons, want to look pretty. And most people don't know how they can look pretty. They need help. So, and then the other is just there, you know, the emperor will come to you, oh, I want this woman to look like that, to look like this. So I don't want fat, I don't want to skinny, I want this and that. So then as healers, you have to really help with all kinds of things, right? And then meanwhile, traditional Chinese medicine, I really think it's a very humane medicine, because we don't just say, well, let's give you this product, give you some saffron, and then you will have a pretty looking skin, because we are pulling the liver energy. The liver energy help with the gut health going up. Where basically why, if you're pregnant, you cannot, because if you're pregnant, your liver energy and your blood is going down to feed the fetus. Yeah, we're pulling it up. That's why saffron can cleanse your blood, can also cause miscarriage. Does it make sense? Because we're pulling the energy up to your brain and going through the face, so the face benefit. So that's why we say, well, saffron. People know saffron is good for skin health, but they don't know why. It's very simple. This is why. But you shouldn't always use it, because you are using too much of your kidney energy. But anyways, so throughout history, like my family used to work for the emperor's families that were the very wealthy people, right? They had all kinds of demands but what our tradition is, I think, is very humane, is saying, let me help you with your overall health. As a part of the result, you will get what you request for, but we are not doing any harm. So I hope that answered your question.
It does. Yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. I mean, this idea of like internal versus external, it's two sides of the same coin. So it's an opportunity to really,
and young.
I love it. Yeah. So it's like nourishment. It's an extension of everything else we're doing at the clinic. And it's, I mean, aside from vanity reasons, it is also really just a way to kind of, like you said, it's that internal, external connection.
Yes. So we'll do the internal one and the external one as well, because if we train people how to do that and how to have immediate results and slowly work on the imbalances you have in your system, why not?
And this is where something like the facial is really truly individualized, because the rest of the treatment plan is very unique to that person's needs, and therefore, the progress becomes so different, which I think is very unique to our practice.
Yes. So then you rotate through. You say, okay, so if this is a part of the imbalances you have, right? And instead of just peeling your skin off, why don't we do that? And then we'll peel your skin off, and then more toxins will come out, right? And then you can keep it up. So periodically you will do an external facial, but mostly what you're doing is the internal connection, is the internal health.
This might be.
Yeah. So what I am saying is I am not designing anything just for one single purpose, to say, well, you want a good looking skin, here is your good looking skin, because I don't feel my conscience will allow me, because you have to always come back, because you don't know how to keep your skin well. You don't have nutrients. And then you have to put on all kinds of things on your face. Then it becomes a painted face. I hope that makes sense to you.
That makes plenty of sense. I guess I will just add, and this might be a given, but for some of our listeners, I mean, and this is the kind of facial, because it's so individualized, that, men who have like scarring from acne, maybe history of acne or other skin conditions, like it's really so incredibly helpful.
Yeah, and then you can burn it. If it's needed, we will burn their skin, but they have to have new growth. Otherwise, what do you come out of it? Right? So long story short, to make short-term people's skin beautiful really isn't a problem. The challenge is how do we work together to keep it that way. So if we only do to make people's skin beautiful, I refuse to do that. I think it's pointless. But if we can make their skin beautiful and then they can keep it that way, have better health, then we're doing it.
Always the longevity, right, Dr. Liu? Dr. Liu, we're very excited about all the herbal products you have been working on, and certainly always so helpful to have that added piece to do at home. I'm wondering, you're talking a little bit about sort of the next epidemic or pandemic, and I don't want to sort of, ruffle too many feathers, but my question to you regarding the dampness, are you saying that because of so many people are exhibiting damp-like tendencies? Is it residual effects of our first pandemic? Can you talk a little bit about why the emphasis on dampness?
So because dampness and inflammation, stagnation and inflammation are the very worst things, plus the toxins, right, of human society, right? If the modern society that people, because of we have walked away from nature, we have created all kinds of unhealthy habit. Look at this pandemic. What it's targeting is people's inflammation, right? It's designed that way. If you want to reduce population, it has to be that way. So what is the next, if I know it, I think a lot of people knows that. So the next thing, if you target, what would you target? You would target the unwanted fluid in human beings, because Eastern and Western medicine, we talk differently, but we believe that is a part of cause for many diseases and illnesses. So, because that ruin human gut. And if human gut is being further destroyed, then your immune system is gone. Would that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting, Dr. Liu, because you've always talked about inflammation, stagnation, gut health, immunity, and we're really seeing those defenders, or those like sort of our army. And so, yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
So I keep saying, but I don't know how many people are actually listening. But anyways, but what I am saying is this is the direction we'll be going. Right? This is the direction we'll be going. If these predictions out there have any kind of truth in it, we have slowly prepared ourselves. If it's not, then we will have a better health overall. So there's really, I think it's win for us is I don't really see what could we possibly lose by having a better immune system overall. So if you have a better gut system, you have less dampness, you will have less belly fat, you will feel better, you will look better, right? And that also influences your brain health, because you're able to sort the information and from what is useful, what is useless. So all these things, I think, will be beneficial for human health. But all these things require forward thinking, discipline, and slowly remove that ego away to really try to discover oneself, because that one true self. When I first came here, people keep saying to me, I have to be myself. I have to be myself. And I look at them, I said, but you are not yourself, right? You are your ego. To be one's true self, that's enlightenment. That's really look within, that become truly what we designed to be. So that's many lifetimes hard work. So when you say you need to be yourself, you just acting like immature, a lot of bad habit person. And then I was advised not to say that. So, but I feel that one says to be one true self is the self that we, after so many terms of cultivation, to reach the point of either, you know, well, faith or, you know, or transformation or enlightenment, that self is true self. So that traditional Chinese medicine is not a religion, is a tool to help people because you are cleaning up this physical self. So then from this on, and they will be able to do whatever they desire to do. I hope it makes sense to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu. That was really, really just a beautiful closing thought. I think we'll end there unless you want to share even more. with us
So,
today.
you know, like, let's have fun with me, because what I have in life is I have joy, contentment, and I want to share that. Let's have fun with me. A beautiful face, beautiful skin. Let's, you know, let's have good health. Why not, my people? Let's do it together.
Thank you so much, Dr. Liu.
Thank you, Dr. Liu. See you next time.
Thanks, Dr. Liu, and happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Liu.
So I'm going to get one.
Thank you,
Thank
Dr.
you,
Liu.
Dr. Liu.